The Centennial is really a hot spot for diversity. Ranchers, when we first started working here, they were skeptical. They thought maybe we wanted to get rid of the ranching community.
When the Nature Conservancy first came, we were glad to have the help with the weeds and things, but it was a very untrusting relationship.
By working together, teaming up on all sorts of different projects, they've realized that we really value the ranching community and we want to keep the ranchers on the land because they understand how this land functions.
It's a mutual learning experience. We learn from them and they learn from us.
The Nature Conservancy is working with these ranch families to conserve their ranches and allow them to keep doing what they've been doing for multiple generations, but prevent the future subdivision and fragmentation of those ranches.
We want this landscape to be as healthy as possible for our future generations, so we manage it for that. Cattle can have a negative impact or a positive impact on the land. If cattle are left in a pasture for too long, they can have an adverse effect to many of the different plant species. If cattle are moved relatively quickly, they can have positive impacts. In fact, it's essential that these landscapes are grazed to cycle the grass back into the bugs who then create more grass.
A grassland that sits and is never grazed just gets old and the feed gets decadent, and wildlife they don't like that kind of feed. If you watch a herd of elk, a lot of times they're where the ground was grazed either earlier that year or at least the year before. If the grass is somewhere where people have not allowed grazing for many years, pretty soon the wildlife doesn't want to go in there.
These riparian zones have to be grazed. Otherwise they totally overgrow, get oxidized, and then the only thing that will pop up through all that pushed down grass is weeds that none of the wildlife like. You have to graze the riparian zones. It's just a matter of you need to do it like the buffalo used to do it and have them there real quickly and then gone.
Grazing also creates more habitat diversity, areas that are grazed and areas that are ungrazed for birds that like those different kinds of habitats. Certain birds, like long-billed curlews, like to nest where there's very little cover, where it's pretty much grazed down to golf course height, whereas sandhill cranes prefer the taller grass. And so if we're managing without grazing, we really are missing half the habitat that we need to support these two really important birds.
Just like we want our cattle to flow across this landscape, we want the antelope and the elk and everything else to flow across, because it's just really a mobile composting unit that transfers minerals and nutrients all the way across this landscape.
Of course, we always enjoy seeing wildlife. It's just natural that if you see a big moose or a baby calf elk or anything, you just want to stop and watch it for a minute. It's just kind of human nature to be able to enjoy those kinds of things.
The wildlife is important to me. The wildlife are beneficial to our cattle, but also just on a personal level. I love to see antelope and sandhills and curlews and sage grouse around and occasional grizzly bear.
I think my dream for this valley would be, it looked a lot like it looks now, with fewer fences, and yeah, pretty much just the way it looks like right now.